Good morning, everybody. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico Style, and it is Friday.
TGIF. Happy Friday.
Yay.
Love the scarf.
Thanks, the Virgil Ortiz scarf. Yeah, he was on, of course, doing that fashion show. And if you want to see more of his designs, you can actually go to the link on our casa.com website.
Yeah, that looks
Didn't
great.
you love
What you have on?
Which one did you get? Which scarf?
I got the red one.
Oh, yes.
So I got to get out some red and black.
Well, you got the pink thing.
I
so
had
the next
pink,
thing you were red.
a little clashy, yeah.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. We'll send a little shout out to Virgil for giving us these beautiful scarves. We appreciate that. We love to do our local fashion, our local designers, and today is so much about local business, and we'll get more to that in a moment. But here's something interesting on a local level as well. Albuquerque has been ranked number 10 on a list of 100 work cities by Workstyle magazine.
Right, the magazine analyzed mid-sized cities and rated how work-inspired the community is and assessed quality of life in a general and work setting.
Who knew? Access to housing, leisure, activities, and commitment to a clean environment were all taken into consideration. And then Albuquerque rated really high for its cultural amenities and the quality of life.
Right, and to compile the ratings, Workstyle interviewed chambers of commerce, public officials, tourism officials, and employees from numerous businesses. So, you know, I agree. I like working here. You know what I really like about it here is that it's so laid back and people care about their environment. You're not always in a rush, which is probably way different from where you're from.
You think? Yeah. I mean, seriously, that was one of the things that really, grounded me when I moved here. Is I'm always, and I do have that personality. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of that being in a hurry personality, but I'll tell you what, a big part of the problem in pretty much every other big city in this country is the traffic on the way to work, is the crazy drives, is that everybody's trying to get somewhere so fast. And I'll tell you what, it changes your whole demeanor when you can get in a car and just leisurely drive to work. It's amazing.
I feel like it's, a lot of places it's work first, family second, and here a lot of times it's flipped the other way around.
I agree with that.
I really like that.
Good point. I totally agree with that.
Well, this property in Taos, known as Earthship Biotexture, has been named among the top 10 quirkiest accommodations in the country by TripAdvisor. Look how cool that is.
Quirky indeed. Part hotel, part piece of art, and part science project. These unique desert dwellings are actually made from recycled and sustainable materials, and they use natural elements to provide a comfortable experience for their guests.
And even though each pod is powered solely by sun, wind, and rain, which is really cool, the guests still have access to modern amenities, including Wi-Fi, television, and on-demand movies. Love it.
I think that's cool. You're kind of going old school, but staying in the new age. It's really interesting, but I think it's funny how a magazine and a national survey would point out a place in New Mexico, in Taos. I think that's amazing. So pretty cool. The average nightly rate at this Earthship Biotexture is $120.
It's not bad.
Not that bad.
It's really not bad. Considering
it's one of the quirkiest places in the country, not so bad. Yeah. But and I think that's about the average. I mean, when you think about most of the hotels in the good hotels around. Now let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Matt Mauro with this morning's headlines. Not too quirky this morning, right, Matt?
Try not to be, ladies. Well, good morning to you, and good morning to you at home. We start with Michael Astorga is set to be back in court in just a few hours, this time to hear his sentence for killing Candido Martinez. Astorga is already serving more than a life sentence for killing Sheriff's Deputy James McGrain Jr. He now faces at least another 25 years in prison for killing Martinez. We'll let you know what happens later today on News 13. A grand jury has indicted 3 people for murder and the death of a clerk at a 7-Eleven in Albuquerque. Police say last month, Eloy Aguilar, Dylan Villarreal, and Julian De Herrera, these 3 men, went into the 7-Eleven across from UNM early one morning. Investigators say De Herrera robbed some students in the van outside, and Aguilar went inside and ended up shooting and killing the clerk, Chad Mercer. Yesterday, a grand jury indicted Aguilar on 1 count of first-degree murder and the other 2 on second-degree murder charges. We have an amazing story of recovery to tell you about this morning involving 2 separate cases of animal abuse that have gotten a lot of people very upset. You may remember Tuffy the kitten was found in a dumpster with paint in his eyes almost 2 months ago. This is what he looked like then. And someone who was watching our story paid for Tuffy to go see a specialist. And now you can look at him, he sees just fine. Then there are 2 dogs you might remember, Rockstar and Caesar. They've also made great recoveries. They were starving and close to dying, but 2 weeks later, they're thankfully doing much better. The dogs will be able to get out adopted in the next couple of days. The Fiesta food fight deadline is here today, and Balloon Fiesta vendors say they have come up with their own plan to end a huge fight. It's all about money. It calls for all vendors, not just the food ones, to pay 15% more in rent than they did last year. This is after the company that Fiesta hired to oversee food vendors wanted them to pay 30% of everything they made. The Bloom Fiesta is now looking at the new idea. Well, this morning, supporters of gay marriage are planning a kiss-in to protest at Chick-fil-A, including some of the restaurants right here in Albuquerque. Chick-fil-A has been in the news a lot recently since the company's CEO started talking about being against gay marriage. And supporters and protesters packed Chick-fil-A's all across the country on Wednesday, including one on San Mateo and Montgomery, to voice their opinions about that. Well, this morning you can call it a sweet homecoming. Curly the Cone is back where he belongs at a Dairy Queen here in Albuquerque. The 6-foot-tall ice cream costume doubles as an inflatable mascot. Dropped off yesterday morning with an apology letter talking about the rocky road he had been on. Here's News 13's Amanda Goodman.
We're very sorry for stealing Curly.
It's the last thing Erin Sanchez expected this morning. Instead of a ransom note, she found her $2,500 investment, Curly the Cone, had been returned, along with an apology letter.
We really fudged up and we're sorry. We will never steal again because we learned that we could be caught red velvet handed if we do.
Curly was stolen Monday evening from in front of this Dairy Queen near Paseo in Louisiana. The 6-foot-tall cone can either be worn as a costume or inflated as a mascot. On Monday, he was inflated and staked in this planter right outside the store.
We thought we could get away with it, butterscotch free. We realized that if we kept stealing, it'd be a rocky road.
A road the abductors clearly didn't want to go down because this morning a worker at a neighboring business found Curly. He was wadded up in the same planter he was stolen from. Did you think that he would be returned?
No.
Sanchez still doesn't know who was behind the caper or why they stole him in the first place. And she doesn't care. She's just glad he's in one piece.
He's just a little dirty. I think he got a little scraped up from the asphalt on his nose. He looks pretty good.
Sanchez said she never thought the kind of person who would steal Curly would also be the kind of person to return him. But she's glad they did. Amanda Goodman, KRQE News 13.
And we are certainly glad they are too. Sanchez told police now that Curly is back at the DQ, they don't have to go look for whoever stole them. So I guess you could say the people who did this are not going to get caught red velvet handed, ladies. Whoever did it, very cold hearted, and they had a sweet reunion.
I think it's wonderful. I honestly, I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect so many emotions for the return of the costume. Now, you know, let's pretend it's a Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny thing. I don't want to ruin it for the kids. You know, I get it if it's the real person, but it's the costume, and it was emotional. So it kind of gave me a little chuckle there.
There you go. It's wonderful. Go check out Dairy Queen. You can go see Curly this weekend. I'll see you on Monday, ladies. Have a good one.
All right, see you later, Matt.
Yes, thank you. Okay,
that
emotions
story
under
is
control.
pretty funny. Glad Curly is back in safety.
Yes, yes.
Okay, American athletes have the wow factor in 37 medals, which puts us up above China now.
Yeah.
And Michael Phelps won another gold medal yesterday. This one is in for the 200-meter individual medley.
Yes.
He blew past rival Ryan Lochte. Not only did Phelps win gold, he broke Lochte's world record, and Phelps is now, of course, the most decorated medal winner of all time. He was already that before that medal, and he's won 19 medals in his career, 15 of them gold.
Yep, and then he just added another one last night. And I am wearing my little gold medallion necklace today in honor of all this as well.
And I love that. You just saw the gymnast, 16-year-old gymnast Gabby Douglas made history in the individual all-around competition. Third American athlete to win gymnastics' biggest prize and the first African-American to do so. And
yeah, and now you're seeing judo champion Kayla Harrison also making history, winning America's first gold medal for judo. Hey ya to her. I'll sing the Outcast song. Hey ya. I'm really seriously. Last night again, a ball of emotions for me. I was a total mess, hysterical crying. So proud of Gabby. Amazing. You know, all athletes go for the gold, but when they win, they should maybe be prepared to dole out some serious coin. This part I don't like so much.
oh yeah, you can bet the Olympic Games' biggest fan is Uncle Sam because he collects on every win. Fox News correspondent Marian Rafferty explains.
A chance for Olympic glory and competing at the highest level always comes with a set of risks to athletes. But there's one risk award-winning Olympians may not foresee.
Yep, the IRS came and took some money out for my medals.
That's right, Olympic winnings are taxable for Americans. Podium athletes receive checks, $25,000 for a gold medal, $15,000 for silver, and a bronze will bring in $10 grand. Depending on overall income, athletes' medals could be taxed up to 35%, roughly $9,000 for gold, over $5,000 for silver, and $3,500 for bronze. Marco Rubio proposing a tax break for Olympians when they come home after competition, saying they represent the nation and should be able to keep their winnings.
They have to understand that, you know, athletes basically usually struggle just to stay alive, to be able to do what they love to do and to be able to compete and represent the United States. And so not everyone is a Michael Phelps or a Ryan Lochte who makes a lot of money. So, you know, to get taxed on what they win, I think, is a little bit of an outrage.
Tax analysts would disagree with Rubio, adding that another break to the U.S. tax code could only complicate a much-needed overhaul. Many have mixed feelings about taxing athletes, while some realize it's every American's duty to pay their taxes.
The little guy don't make any money, but Michael Phelps, I just read where he's worth $30 million. So I don't have a problem with taxing him.
Oh, that seems a shame, but all of us do need to pay taxes on earnings that we do receive.
The medals themselves are also taxed. Tax on a gold medal could be upwards of $200, but in the end, they're only gold-plated. In New York, Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
I don't like that. It's a medal. I mean, you're wearing it. It's not like you're spending it on things that you should have to pay. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't think you should have to pay tax on the medal. But, you know, it is what
Uncle
it is.
Sam finds a way to tax.
Yeah, but, you know, there is a way to make it a good thing. You know, sometimes Uncle Sam helps us out, like this weekend, because the tax holiday is underway, and we'll get all the details today from the Taxation and Revenue Department's Cabinet Secretary, Demetria Padilla, in just a few minutes. But if you are taking advantage of the weekend's bargains, you might want to pick up a few extra school supplies and just donate them to the district's neediest students.
Yeah, and the supplies can be dropped off at 3 local Ford dealerships: Bob Turner's Ford on Montana Road, Rich Ford on Lomas, and Don Chalmers Ford on Rio Rancho Drive.
Yeah, and then what will happen is a bus will actually collect the school supplies next week and then deliver them to the APS schools, which will then get them to the students who are in need. So pretty cool, huh? Nice way to make things a little bit better when it comes to the taxes.
Absolutely.
Now, if you are burned out on the Olympics, Grammy Award winner Joanne Shenandoah is one of America's most celebrated and critically acclaimed musicians, and she happens to be performing tonight at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center.
And she has captured the hearts and souls of audiences all over the world and has been praised for her work of peace and hope. She's recorded music with some of the world's most famous artists, including Sting, Bono, and Willie Nelson, just to name a few. And she performed live on New Mexico Style earlier this week.
Yeah, she was great, and what a nice woman as well. And again, you can catch her at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. That's tonight. Doors open at 6:45. Tickets are only $15, so definitely not a big price to pay for, you know, for an award-winning artist. And to see live music is always a great thing.
And by the way, Neil Young tonight.
Yes.
At the Pavilion.
Yes,
Hard Rock Pavilion. So with Los Lobos.
Yeah, I'm curious to know how the Kelly Clarkson concert was last night.
I didn't go, but our producer Rebecca did.
Yeah,
she said it was fabulous.
I'm gonna have to ask her about that.
Okay, lots more going on this weekend. You can join the Duke City Repertory Theater this Saturday for a magical evening of fun and games.
Yes, the Twilight Gypsy Bazaar is actually tomorrow night. That's taking place from 7 to 10 at the Heritage House Bed and Breakfast, and all proceeds will benefit the theater, and we love to keep the arts alive.
Of course. Duke City Repertory Theater was voted Best Theater Troupe in the City by Albuquerque, the magazine's Best of the City 2011, so be sure to catch one of their upcoming performances.
Yeah, really talented actors in that troupe, so check it out. And another thing to check out are the weekend's new movies. They all pack a little punch.
Of course. Here is Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with what's hitting the big screen.
Kate Beckinsale and Colin Farrell bring the Total Recall remake, which lets Kate show off her fighting skills once again.
I've been given this opportunity to try and get really good at something that I'm not naturally very good at very quickly. You know? And over the movies, I guess I've become better at it.
Vacation is on.
For the young ones, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise has Part 3, Dog Days, which the series creator calls a big family reunion.
We've been able to get all of the characters, all of the actors back to play their roles. So it's great to see Fregley and Chirag and Holly Hills and all of the characters like Patty Farrell come back together.
I think it's stupid you're not together. I do. You guys are best friends.
In limited release, Rashida Jones and Andy Samberg are Celeste and Jesse forever, a divorcing couple trying to keep their status quo while seeing other people. Big names lead the sexually charged 360, like Sir Anthony Hopkins, Rachel Weisz, and Jude Law.
For the next month, this is all I got.
And a new name joins in the mix, Craigslist Joe.
Have we become so caught up in our own lives that we don't notice life outside our bubble?
A guy looking to rediscover a sense of community in this technological age. The documentary is executive produced by Zach Galifianakis, who you'll see more of next time around, when his political comedy, The Campaign, joins in the race at the movies. In New York, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Lots of good movies.
Oh, yeah.
I love Jude Law and Anthony Hopkins. My God, good casts. Okay, now this is even better, though. Another new movie will soon begin filming in New Mexico, and this movie stars Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington. Sorry, I got a little breathless there. A casting call says it'll start shooting in Albuquerque and in Santa Fe starting August 20th. So Mark's going to be here soon.
The day after my birthday. I think you should come by and wish me a
Oh, that's the least he could do,
Yeah,
Dirk
okay.
Diggler.
Well, Two Guns is about a DEA agent and undercover naval intelligence officer who are investigating one another, even though both have been set up by the mob. So it's based on that graphic novel there. So
that's going to be
really
good. I love those kind of mobby-like movies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about that. So we will keep an eye. And if you happen to spot Mark Wahlberg or Denzel Washington, let us know at New Mexico Style so we can try to summon them to the show. It's the least they can do, don't you think?
Yes.
I think so. Now, hopefully, things will cool down a little. I mean, them being in town will heat things up, but maybe the weather will give us a break. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to look a little better for us this weekend, Sunday especially. You'll notice a break in the extreme heat, that is
So
for
hot.
sure. So here's a look at what's happening out there.